In more than 140 years of history, more than 7,500 international matches have been played. In all those matches, international cricket produced so many legendary bowlers, batsmen, and all-rounders. Let's have a look on top 5 bowler, batsmen, and all-rounders in the world.
This video consists of 3 parts. The first part of this video is all about top 5 bowlers in the history. The second part of this video consists of top 5 all-rounders of all time. And finally, the third part is all about top 5 batsmen in the world. So let's start our today's video. A good bowler can win a game of cricket for you almost on his own. An aggressive fast bowler who can threaten with his raw pace under all conditions make for a captain's delight and a batsman's nightmare. If a great bowler is having a great day, he can rip through the opposition batting line and set up an easy victory for his team. Number 5. Shoaib Akhtar, Pakistan. Popularly known as Rawalpindi Express, is considered to be the fastest bowler in the world. He clocked a speed of 161 against England in 2003 World Cup, making it one of the fastest bowled in cricket history. His average bowling speed varied between 145 to 150. I love his action and super speed. I love his yorkers and the bouncers. No bowler can match the speed of this supersonic speed star who broke the 100-mile barrier. He bowled all-time greats like Brian Lara, Sachin Tendulkar and Ricky Ponting. Number 4. Malcolm Marshall. Marshall's test bowling average is 20.94. Is the best of any bowler to have taken more than 200 wickets. His aggressive fast bowling became feared among batsmen, especially his bouncers, which people attempted to get banned on more than one occasion. He's recorded 376 test match wickets. Number 3. Shane Warne, the second and the final Australian to be featured on this list. Shane Warne is the greatest leg spinner bowler in cricket history. One of only 2 men to have achieved over 700 test match wickets. He was the only bowler to be voted as one of the 5 wisdom cricketers of the century. He is popular to huge amount of fans around the world. Number 2. Wasim Akram, Pakistan. A fast left-handed bowler, the Sultan of Swing, the King of Swing, Wasim has won 17 Man of the Match awards. He took 4 hat-tricks in international cricket, still a world record. Took over 400 test wickets and holds the record for amount of wickets in ODI, 502. An average of 23.62 in test matches for only 104 appearances make him at number 2. Number 1. Mutia Muralidharan, the greatest off-spinner of all time. According to me, the greatest bowler of all time. He's taken 735 wickets in test matches, which is more than anyone else. His highest average in all form of game is 23, having recorded well over 1,000 wickets. His most powerful weapon is perhaps his infamous Dusra.
Number 5. Andrew Flintoff.
It's Flintoff.
We begin our list with England's hero of the 2000s, Andrew Flintoff, or as he's better known, Freddie Flintoff. He is best known for his heroics in the 2005 Ashes series that saw England win the Ashes for the first time since the 1986-87 season, defeating an Australian team that entered as the best in the world. A fast bowler capable of bowling in excess of 140 km per hour, Flintoff took 226 wickets at an average of 32.78. He was also a fast-scoring batsman capable of some decent performances, averaging 31.07, including 5 centuries and 26 half-centuries. But the statistics don't best show the contribution Flintoff made to his team. If unconvinced about his greatness, simply look at his influence in England's Ashes-winning teams of 2005 and 2009. Also, he would contribute with both the bat and ball in these performances, securing his spot amongst the great all-rounders of all time. Before we move ahead, give me a favor, kindly subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for notifications. Top 10 laziest cricketers video or top highest paid cricketers video, all links are in description of this video. Number 4. Kapil Dev, India's greatest all-rounder ever. And indeed India's greatest fast bowler, Kapil Dev is the first of the great 1980s all-rounders to appear on this list. He had a prolific test career spanning 16 years in which he earned a reputation as a consistent bowler and a hard-hitting batsman. He became excellent bowler in the history of the game to take 400 wickets in his final test to finish with 434 wickets at an average of 29.64. This average seems relatively high compared to some of the other great all-rounders. But it must be remembered that they played a lot of his cricket at home in India on wickets that are far more friendly to spinners and batsmen, tending to hinder rather than help seam bowlers. With the bat, he averaged 31.05 in a career which included 8 centuries and 27 half-centuries. But it is a one-day innings that he is best remembered for. This being, of course, his 175 not out against Zimbabwe at the 1983 World Cup, where after a terrible start, Dev came in and saved India from what would have been a huge upset. India would go on to win the tournament in a huge upset over the two-time defending champion West Indies, with Dev being the key figure in the tournament. Number 3. Shahid Afridi. Pakistan vs Australia second 2020 international. He started off his career as a specialist leg spinner, but when Shahid Afridi made the then fastest century in one-day cricket against Sri Lanka in just 37 balls, he became the team's all-rounder. That being said, in those initial years of his career, Afridi did not bowl as regularly and played primarily as an opening batsman. However, it was later on in his career, when he became a deadly leg spinner and an equally destructive lower middle-order power hitter for Pakistan. His batting could be exasperating at times since he went for big hits right from the start. That explains his rather lowly average of only 23.57 in 398 one-day internationals. However, an astonishing strike rate of 117 shows the sort of damage that he could inflict when he got going, and he did it quite often. Afridi scored 8,064 runs in his one-day career. His fast leg spin proved to be extremely difficult to play in the latter half of his career, and for a period, he was probably the finest limited overs spinner in the world. In his one-day career, Afridi 395 wickets at an average of 34.51 and an economy rate of 4.62. Number 2. Doc Callis. Doc Callis is unquestionably the greatest all-rounder of the modern era and rates highly on the all-time list too. As a batsman, there are few better than Callis, averaging 57.02, including 41 centuries and 55 half-centuries. This average is the highest of any current player, higher than other present-day superstars including Sachin Tendulkar, Ricky Ponting and Rahul Dravid. Unlike most all-rounders, Callis is a technically proficient batsman. Whilst most all-rounders tend to score their runs in rather unorthodox style, Callis brings a very classical approach, playing a range of controlled shots. Indeed, there are few harder wickets to take than that of Callis. Also a fast medium bowler, Callis has taken 274 wickets at an average of 32.51. Whilst this may not rate quite as highly as his batting record, it is still impressive nonetheless, and he would be good enough to make many international sides as a bowler. Number 1. Imran Khan. A true champion and undoubtedly Pakistan's finest cricketer ever, Imran Khan finds himself at number 1 in the list of all-time great all-rounders. It was as a bowler that he's best remembered, taking 362 test wickets at an average of 22.81. He was a genuine quick and opened the bowling for Pakistan for many years. He would rate as highly as any bowler from any era. As his career progressed and he began to sustain more injuries, his
gap, all the way
batting
along the
became more
ground.
prevalent to the point where he was in the
Occasion.
team solely as a batsman by the end of his career. This showed
that's a
that he
very
could
good shot
indeed
from
make the
Imran.
team
He's headed
as
through the
both a
gap.
bowler and a batsman.
And the ball rolling
He
away
finished
down
his
to that
test
very long
career with an
boundary.
average
Into the
37.69,
fence
including
goes.
6 centuries and 18 half-centuries, becoming one of only 8 players to achieve the all-rounders total of 300 wickets and 3,000 runs. There have been few captains in the same class as Khan, and it was his foresight and strategy that helped his Pakistan teams achieve their full potential. This quality has stuck with him, as he went on to hold many high-profile positions in various political and social work organizations. He ended his career as a coach after winning the 1992 World Cup with Pakistan. Top 5. Sachin Tendulkar. Personally, I pick him on same position as Akram said. Akram talked about the Indian talisman and their greatest of all time and put him at the bottom of the list. I'm keeping Tendulkar aside from this list because we didn't play test cricket against him for 10 years. Waqar and I didn't bowl to him for 10 years in test matches. He came to Pakistan in 1989 as a 16-year-old and after that we played against him in 1999. I bowled at him at Sharjah in ODIs but test cricket is different. Number 4. Inzamam ul Haq. The Sultan of Swing preferred former colleague Inzamam ul Haq at the 4th spot and above the legendary Tendulkar. For both of the aforementioned batters, Akram said that he hadn't bowled to either in the longer format much and hence he won't be able to judge them as a bowler. Number 3. Brian Lara. Akram picked the Windies great Brian Lara at the 3rd spot, saying that he was a difficult batsman to bowl at as he was never settled in the crease. At number 3 I will put the Prince. Brian Lara. He was a quality batsman. He was very different and odd to bowl at. His bat would come from various directions. He was never settled and it was difficult to bowl to him, Akram said. Number 2. Martin Crowe. Akram stuck with the former New Zealand captain, the late Martin Crowe, in the 2nd spot. He heaped praise on the legendary batsman, sharing a narrative. At number 2 I will put Martin Crowe because of his sheer technique. At a time when the world had no idea about how to face reverse swing, he played against us. It was a series where Waqar picked up 30 wickets in 3 matches and I picked up 16 wickets in 1.5 matches as he got injured. Crowe had scored 2 centuries in that series. After the series, one asked him, "How did you play me and Waqar so well?" He said, "One played you and Waqar on the front foot when you guys are bowling in swingers and didn't follow the ball that was swinging away and hence I didn't edge it," Akram said while remembering his conversation with Crowe. Number 1. Sir Viv Richards. Among all the opponents he faced, Akram picked the fabulous West Indies batsman and former captain Sir Vivian Richards on the top spot. If you talk about a batsman with an unmatched technique, charisma and someone who had a huge impact on the game, it is Sir Vivian Richards. I have played against all the greats from mid-80s to the 90s to the 2000s, but Viv Richards was a class apart, Akram said. I hope you enjoyed my video. Give me your feedback in comments section.